Most people won't hear about a major Supreme Court retirement ruling until it's too late, because by the time it hits mainstream news, the bad information has already spread. Right now, there are viral posts claiming the Supreme Court just issued a unanimous 9-0 decision that changes retirement in every state. If you've seen that and felt your stomach drop, pause. Because the most dangerous move you can make is changing your retirement plan based on a headline that doesn't name the case. Here on Senior Security Benefits, I'm George, and my job is to separate what's real from what's hype, so you can protect your money without panic. In this video, I'm going to do two things. First, I'll show you exactly how to verify whether this alleged sweeping retirement ruling is real, what it actually says, and who it truly affects. Second, I'll explain the types of Supreme Court decisions that can reshape retirement planning nationwide. Social Security taxation at the state level, pension rules, 401k and IRA protections, and the limits of what states can change after you've already made long-term financial decisions. Stick with me because one small detail, like the actual case name, makes the difference between a real warning and a made-up story. Before we break it down, subscribe and turn on notifications. Most people won't get clear explanations on this topic until after the confusion causes real financial mistakes. This channel exists to translate legal and policy changes into practical steps you can actually use. Now here's what happened in plain English. A claim is spreading that the Supreme Court issued a unanimous ruling that locks in retirement rules and prevents states from changing the deal on retirees and workers who relied on existing law. It's being framed as a sweeping, coast-to-coast precedent that affects everything: state pensions, 401k rules, IRA protections, and state taxation of retirement income. The problem is this: if a post can't tell you the case name, the date, and the actual holding, you're not getting information, you're getting marketing. So let's start with verification, because this takes 2 minutes and it protects you from acting on misinformation. First, ask, what is the name of the case? X versus Y. A real Supreme Court decision always has a case name, and anyone reporting on it should be able to give it to you. Second, go to supremecourt.gov and search the case name, or Google the case name with cite:"supremecourt.gov. Third, open the opinion and read the holding section, or a reliable summary that links to the actual decision text. If someone says all 9 justices agreed, you should be able to see decided, date, and the vote. If you can't, treat it as unverified until proven otherwise. If you want, paste the case name you're hearing about and I'll break it down: what the court actually decided, what it did not decide, and who it affects. Now let's assume for a moment there really is a Supreme Court ruling that impacts retirement planning. What kinds of Supreme Court decisions actually change retirement in real life? There are a few major categories that matter. One category is state taxation of retirement income. Many retirees choose where to live based on state tax policy, whether a state taxes pensions, whether it taxes Social Security, whether it offers retirement income exclusions, and how it treats 401k and IRA withdrawals. States do have authority to change tax laws, but they cannot do it in ways that violate constitutional limits, like certain forms of discrimination or unequal treatment that courts have struck down in the past. So yes, Supreme Court precedent can reshape what states are allowed to do in taxation, but it usually does so through specific constitutional principles applied to specific facts, not through a blanket rule that states can't change retirement taxes anymore. Another category is pension protections, especially for state and local government workers, teachers, firefighters, police officers, municipal employees. Pension rules are often governed by state constitutions and state contract law, and that means protections can vary dramatically depending on your state. Some states treat pensions as strong contractual rights. Others allow more changes for future accruals. Court rulings can be extremely important here, but the impact depends on the exact pension structure and the legal theory in the case. A third category is 401k and IRA protections under federal law, including ERISA issues and creditor protection rules. Supreme Court cases have affected how certain retirement accounts are treated in bankruptcy, how inherited retirement accounts are protected or not protected, and how employer plans must operate under federal law. These are the kinds of decisions that really can change planning nationwide, because ERISA and federal bankruptcy law apply broadly. And a fourth category is administrative law, meaning how courts treat agency rules and interpretations. Sometimes the biggest retirement impact rulings aren't labeled as retirement cases at all. A decision about agency authority, deference, or rulemaking can change how aggressively agencies enforce rules tied to retirement plans, reporting, and compliance. Now I want to address the most emotionally powerful claim in the script you're seeing online. The idea that the Supreme Court created a new constitutional financial shield so states cannot change retirement rules in a way that hurts people who relied on the old rules. Here's the truth. Courts do recognize reliance interests in certain contexts, and retroactivity can raise serious legal issues. But in real-world law, it's rarely as simple as any harmful change is unconstitutional. States can often change laws prospectively, and courts often analyze retroactive impacts under specific standards that vary by context. So if you hear someone describe a clean three-part test that automatically blocks state changes, be careful. That might be someone simplifying beyond what the court actually said. So what should you do right now, today, while you verify whether the viral ruling is real and applicable? First, document your current retirement situation like you're building a protection file. Save your 401k and IRA statements, your pension plan summaries, your Social Security benefit letters, and your tax forms like 1099-R and SSA 1099. Don't rely on websites staying the same forever. Keep your own records. Second, document your state's current retirement tax rules. Go to your State Department of Revenue website and save PDFs or screenshots of the pages that describe how your state taxes pensions, Social Security, and retirement account withdrawals. If you ever relocate, or if your state changes policy, having proof of what the rule was when you planned can be very useful for planning, and if necessary, for any future dispute. Third, if you're a public employee, review your pension plan documents and compare what you were originally promised to any changes that have occurred over time. Retirement age, formula changes, cost of living adjustments. I am not telling you to sue anyone. I'm telling you to know your baseline and know what changed, because you can't protect what you can't track. Fourth, talk to the right professional for the right issue. If the issue is state taxation, you want a tax professional who understands your state. If the issue is pension rights, you may need someone familiar with your state's public pension rules. If the issue is 401k, IRA creditor protection, or inheritance planning, that can be legal territory. A generic financial advisor who hasn't read the decision, or who can't even name the case, is not enough. Fifth, stay plugged in. A real Supreme Court decision doesn't end the story, it starts the next chapter. States may respond with new legislation, agencies may issue guidance, and courts may interpret the ruling in later cases. If you stop paying attention after the headline moment, that's when you get caught by the quiet follow-up changes. Here's my bottom line. If the Supreme Court truly issued a unanimous retirement-related ruling, it can be important, but you only benefit from it when you know the case, understand the holding, and apply it correctly to your situation. Until then, don't restructure your retirement plan based on a viral script. Now do this. Drop a comment with your state and the name of the case you're hearing about, or copy the link where you saw the claim. I'll tell you whether it's real, what it actually says, and what actions, if any, make sense for you. And as always, this is general information, not legal or financial advice. Your situation is unique and state rules vary. My job is to help you ask the right questions and spot misinformation before it costs you money. Subscribe to Senior Security Benefits and I'll see you in the next update.